up, beautiful people? Trina Jones here. I just came to encourage someone today. I woke up thinking about my grandmother. My grandmother was my best friend. Her name was Ruth Collins. As a kid, I just remember always feeling special and important in her presence. We would sit at her kitchen table. She would make me coffee. And even though I really didn't like the taste of coffee, I would drink it because I got to be drinking coffee with my grandmother. So she is the one who taught me about Jesus. She taught us how to pray. She used to record me, my brother, my cousins all praying, and all we prayed about is food. Like, Lord, thank you so much for these greens because they surely is good. Like, all our prayers were about food. And we still love to eat today. So thank you, Jesus. We ain't had a hungry day since. Anyway, I learned so many life lessons and principles from my grandmother. I could always talk to her about anything, and I just miss her today. One of the things that she told me that has definitely rung true in my life is there'll come a time when there's nobody but you and God. And man, I've lived long enough to experience that on multiple occasions. And it feels difficult, like a very lonely place, like nobody understands you, like you're uncertain. But I submit to you that it is a beautiful place to be because it's where you find out who God really is for yourself, not who your grandmother told you he was, not who your mother told you he was, or if you ain't even had nobody telling you who he was. Like, you get to find out for yourself who God is. It's not just what you've experienced growing up or hearing people talk about God, but not necessarily their lives aligning. God is a real God, and he meets real people where they are. When you're in that place, there's this space that only God can fill. So you could try and fill it with activities, you could try and fill it with fun, fill it with substances, drinking and drugs, even sex, or whatever your vices are. But there is a God-shaped hole in all of us that only God can fill. And you get to a point where none of that stuff suffices because there is an emptiness in all of us that only God can feel. And getting to that place where it's only you and God is a beautiful place to be, as lonely as it feels. You know, people can only do so much for you. What encouragement feels like in this day and age is very superficial when you're in a space where can't nobody do anything but God for you. And it's like you're reaching out your hand, you're drowning. You're like, help me, help me. And then here comes a person with their hand looking like they're about to help you, and they just high five you. Good job. And they are well meaning. This doesn't take anything away from those people, but they were never meant to fill that space. It's too much to ask of them to fill that space. You need God. And he won't let you drown. He is a rescuer. He will rescue you and keep you from sinking if you seek him. So I just wanted to encourage you. I want to share two scriptures with you, and they're from Psalms 34, verses 4-5. It says, I prayed to the Lord and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. I'm going to go one more verse to 6. In my desperation, I prayed. In that place where I felt empty and nothing could satisfy, no one could satisfy. In my desperation, I prayed, and the Lord listened. He saved me from all of my troubles. Sometimes we have to get positioned in a place where we get desperate, where we need God. Like, you can have so many distractions, you can have so many things that keep you away from God, keep you from getting that whole field. But when you get to a place of desperation, when you get to a place where can't nobody help me but God, and when you call out to him and he answers in a way that could nobody else satisfy, it is a beautiful thing to find out. Not only is he God, but he is your God. He's my God. He is my rescuer, my healer, my friend, and whatever that is that you need, he is. These last few years have been the best of times and the worst of times. I've lived a season where it was the best of times, great things, opportunities, doing things that I never imagined doing, and also really hard times, difficult times, disappointment, heartbreak, all of those things. Verses 8-19, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. If your spirit has been crushed, if you've been disappointed, if you've been hurt to the core, he is near to you. And not only is he near, he's not just going to reach out his hand and high five you, he'll pull you out of whatever pit that you're in, whatever has you feeling crushed. So I just came to encourage anybody who's feeling alone, who's feeling hurt, who's feeling crushed, who's brokenhearted, who is in a space where ain't nothing helping. I encourage you to cry out to him and allow him to answer. Pray to the Lord and he will answer you. He will free you from all of your fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken your face. In desperation, I prayed, and the Lord listened. He saved me from all of my troubles because God knows us intimately. The things we can't share with other people, the hurts, the disappointments, our feelings, whatever we might be going through. We can't always share that with everybody, but God knows us intimately and we're safe with him and he will rescue you if you cry out to him. So if you're in that space, like I said, where it's nobody but you and God, you're in a good space. Call out to God and see him flex his sovereignty on your behalf to see what a great God he is. All right, take care. Thanks for listening.